Hello and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
Jeff.
I'm Tim.
We are four guys that like to talk about horror, movies, real life, dragons, blobs, zombies, clowns in cornfields, sometimes even. Tonight,
Boobies.
boobies.
There's lots of boobies. There's lots of boobies in horror.
I saw one once, scared the shit out of me. Never again.
It was mine.
It
In
was.
case anyone was wondering.
But tonight
Huge.
is Dave's pick this week, and I've got the science pen out because I may need it. But Dave, The Demon Disorder, 2024.
2024. I watched this a couple weeks ago when Stella had rolled over to sleep and I was thumbing through some Shudder catalog. I said, this has come up across I wasn't totally enthralled by the screen grab or the thumbnail, but
Right.
that night I was like, let's see, and I was in. I'm not going to give away what I think about the movie right now because I've been in on some dumbass movies and I've been on some good movies. So
We're like the local news. That's coming up later. But first,
But first, a word from our sponsors.
4 found dead in Valley Park overnight. A big shooting. Tim's tit was involved. It is suspected.
It was.
it's the suspect.
It is
It is
believed
the
to have
suspect.
act alone. So,
Yeah.
Tim, did you come on to the show tonight expecting booby talk? Specifically,
It's
Your booby.
my booby.
Yeah.
I mean,
was that in the cards?
no, but I'm always available to discuss it.
You're always
if that's-
prepared.
Yeah, I'm always good to talk about my boobies.
Yeah.
Or booby,
I'm-
rather.
Let me write
I'm
that
giving
down.
you the stink eye right now, Tim.
Okay.
Always ready
There's
to talk about
Free
that.
the male nipple.
Okay. Did you ever see that
Hey, I'll
thing
make cooperative.
where maybe it was on TikTok or maybe it was on the internet at large? I want to say it was on maybe TikTok, maybe Twitter, where women were taking the nipples of men and photoshopping them onto their nipples, and then because
Disgusting.
the male nipple is not censored, so it was a very weird time on the internet that I was like, this is odd.
That's phenomenal though. That's great.
Yeah, but looking
Yeah.
at it, your brain is like, this is some. This
I
is
mean, I
some
know we're not in
things.
the news segment here, but I went with me and Dave actually went to the Salvador Dali exhibit, Dave's second time, and I took my son, who's 3, and there are like nude images in some of the art, and at first I got
Tasteful.
like, tasteful. I mean, it's Salvador Dali. You could barely tell it was a woman, but
It's a woman made out of pudding.
right, exactly. But I felt a little like uneasy at first, and then I was like, no, like there's literally nothing wrong with this whatsoever. And not that he was even looking at any of the artwork, he was looking at the floor mostly. There was lots
Which
of
also
cool
is
shit.
covered with artwork.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool shit on the floor. My kid's not not stupid or anything.
Pudding
yeah,
tits.
no,
I can't. And then just
So we're not to get off on a tangent about the female form or nipples in general, but I did feel a little bit awkward at first, and then I let my mind settle, and I was like, no, this is fine. It's just art. There's nothing wrong with him looking at this whatsoever. So
science pen out. I can tell you that my dad let me watch RoboCop in like 1986 or 5,
What?
6 or 5. And I'm on a show now on the internet where a big reason why I'm on that show is because of that. So your son may have his own
Yeah.
podcast.
he's gonna be a star at some point.
Talking about I don't know what, but he'll point back to this and be like, my dad let me see that, and that changed the course of history.
There you go.
Yep.
So
Salvador Dali a lot tamer than RoboCop shooting somebody in the dick.
That wasn't even the Murphy's death was the big one where I'm like, what the fuck is
It's
happened?
Yeah.
But if it was a tit, they'd have been like, they'd have punched me in unconscious to make me have not seen that. but mutilation, totally fine.
America's kind of fucked up that way, man.
It is a thing. Let's get to
Like you can see murder in full gory detail, but a tit, a natural life-giving tit.
No, not today. Not today, boys.
Not today, Satan.
But you know what is today?
Whorehouse.
Whorehouse.
The news.
And the news.
The news.
To the newsroom.
Are they here?
This just in. Someone is breaking into Jeff's house.
Jeff is unaffected. Going live.
I'm live at my own B&E.
If I could change the stream really fast to live B&E, that could be what gets us, that our audience, our big audience. That's our breakthrough.
It's just showing live snuff films on the internet. Never been done before.
Let's wait as this man gets robbed.
Just a false alarm.
Donations welcome.
For 60 cents a day, you can.
We will protest the Oscars. I mean, they may have snubbed Tony Todd, but we will not let them snub you, Jeff.
Oh, did they snub Tony Todd from the In Memoriam?
Fuck yeah,
Did they really? That was fuck them.
Oscar's so white.
Fuck them.
I mean, he's not a small time. Tony Todd is great, Hollywood icon, an American treasure, and my Twitter friend. They snubbed him.
Was.
So fuck you. In a way, they snubbed me. So I'm going to take this personally and make it about me in true Hollywood fashion.
Respect.
When Dave Hayter dies, because Dave Hayter was my Twitter friend before I shut down my Twitter, and they don't like memorialize him, and he was the voice of Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid games. If they don't,
did he die?
No, he didn't die. But if they don't immortalize him and like IGN or like one of the gaming things, I'll be very upset.
All right.
Give us some news.
We got a couple news things. I'll start the news. So a new trailer for a new horror movie coming out called It Feeds that I am in on. It looks very much Stranger Things meets Insidious. It was really cool. A psychic, this chick that's psychic, and the little girl comes to her and she sees this demon feeding on the little girl, and she goes into this kind of like the Further in the Insidious. That's where you get the Insidious thing, and then but the monster and it looked also very Stranger Things. I'm in. It looked great.
The still that I'm looking at right now is giving me super Exorcist vibes. The makeup is really good.
It looked super good. I just from the one time I watched the trailer, I believe it is mostly practical effects. It looked really good. The Shrouds, if the Shrouds arouse anybody, the Shrouds, April 18th. That's just a little bit more than a month away in select cities, and April 25th nationwide. And I get I think the theme based on the trailer that is very much going to be about our obsession with death and possibly violence. So I kind of tying into what we already were just kind of teasing on. Two other quick things. Alien Earth is releasing. They released another trailer. And they released a couple found footage clips that are from people who are alive at the time of everything goes down. the one dude has a cat, which is very reminiscent. If it's not the same cat, it's very reminiscent of Ripley's cat. But that seemed really cool, just kind of building out the world a little bit. But the ship crashes onto Earth, and then aliens are released on Earth. And then in the trailer, somebody pointed out that there's a sound in the trailer, and I knew I recognized it. And it sounds like the clicks from the Predator. So do we get a tease of that Alien versus Predator combined world? Because if you do that right, I'm in. And then the last thing, I just want to say, I watched the trailer for The Bondsman. I believe it is coming out on Amazon Prime. It is a TV show. Alien Earth is also a TV show, I believe. The Bondsman TV show. Kevin Bacon is a bondsman who is killed in the line of duty and is brought back from hell by some people who worship Satan, and his job is to catch demons who have escaped hell and are now wreaking havoc on Earth. And it looks super cool.
If Dog the Bounty Hunter does not make a cameo, I'm gonna be super pissed.
Is he dead?
One can
I don't
hope.
think he's
I'm gonna
dead.
ask that on everybody that tonight. They did.
I hope he makes a cameo as a drag queen Taylor Swift impersonator.
Isn't that similar to R.I.P.D.?
It does very much remind me of R.I.P.D., which that was a good movie. Did they do a sequel? Or
Yeah,
I
I
think
they
talked about a
did.
sequel.
And I don't think anyone that was in it. I know Ryan Reynolds wasn't in it.
Jeffrey Donovan's in it though.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was fun. It was
It was
fun.
fun.
This
It was
looks a little darker.
It's a
This
blockbuster.
this
flick
looks
for
like to ramp up the dark and the actual horror vibes a little bit. So I'm in. So very much R.I.P.D. supernatural-ish. Kevin Bacon, who I know we have this view of Kevin Bacon in popular culture, but the following really showed the dark side of what Kevin Bacon can do. I love that series. That was one of the best TV series I've ever seen, and so I'm very hopeful for The Bondsman.
It sounds like that English. What is that English show with the fucking James Bond? Not James Bond, but the newer kind of with the kid, the younger guy.
The Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Oh,
Is
oh
he-
yeah, yeah.
The Bondsman and the Kingsman sounds like a double feature, tidally speaking.
Right.
Yep.
Just saying. We're going live to the breaking and entering right now. Jeff seems to be fine.
Seems to be okay.
Jeff, are you armed and dangerous? At least say you are, even if you don't want to tell people on the internet you're not armed and dangerous.
I have 2 arms.
And they're dangerous. That's your.
And yeah, Jeff's arms are lethal weapons. They're registered in 32 countries and banned in 17 more.
He can produce the paperwork. He showed it to us. That's how he got on the show. That's one of the reasons.
I have on emails that will pull up on my phone.
He's like, do you have room for another host? And we're like, no. And he's like, are you sure? And we're like, by all means.
Any more news?
Put those things away.
Or anything else?
The last thing that I debated whether to bring up or not, but Terror TV, Terror Films, I think. What that company anyway? They've got a new vinyl set coming out. Soundtracks on vinyl, and 3 of the first 6 releases are Immaculate, which was Scary Nun movie last year that Sydney Sweeney, and it was great. Cabin Fever, little horror vibing Cabin Fever, and one of a movie we've discussed on the show and several times outside of its own episode, Fire in the Sky soundtrack.
Oh,
I'm intrigued. I'm so intrigued.
so they're doing vinyls for all these. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who'd have thunk it?
Man, them kids and their vinyls.
That's all the
these
news I
days.
got, guys. I'll throw it to you.
All right. Scream 7. We are your source for Scream 7 updates each week. And it is more casting news. This is very important to me because they have cast former WCW World Heavyweight Champion
Edge?
David Arquette.
You sure it wasn't Edge?
He wasn't in WCW. David Arquette was actually the WCW World Heavyweight Champion for 2 weeks. Nobody was into it. He had a movie called Ready to Rumble in about 2000, the year 2000.
I remember that movie. I do
too.
remember that movie.
That was
a
all
great movie.
Yeah. But he is back, even though he died.
Was Nick Frost in that?
No, that was what's his name?
Oliver Platt.
Yep, Oliver Platt.
Okay.
90s Nick Frost, if you will.
Yeah.
90s Nick Frost. Okay. Fair enough.
So, Dave has an AI theory about Scream 7.
Not wholly original. I can't take credit for it
Yeah, you
completely, but
You can do
okay.
it. Do it.
My theory, if you've never heard anywhere else, just assume it's my theory. But the David Arquette casting lends credence to this theory. The return of Stumacher, the return of Roman, the return of Dewey, who died on screen. The speculation is that the theme for one of the overarching themes of Scream 7, or one of the things they're going to explore, is the use of AI. And so are these guys... Sure, the actual actors are cast in the movie, but are they playing Dewey and Stu and Roman, or are they playing AI-generated images of Dewey and Stu and Roman and manipulating the people of... Where, Jeff?
Pine Hole, Indiana? Pine Grove? Something like that.
Pine Grove, Indiana. Yes, this is going to be the best Scream ever. It's set in Indiana. So...
Woo!
Thank you, Stranger Things, for making Indiana the
Filmed in Georgia, set in Indiana.
Dave, sing
Georgia's so much like Indiana.
Dave, sing Arms of an Angel real quick. I better take science out of this. Just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. Just leave us alone.
Fly away from
Okay.
here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear.
You look like a busker right
You
now
are
with your
too
news
old.
hat.
I looked up the lyrics. I was ready for you tonight.
Oh, were those the lyrics? I thought you was just
Yes.
from your soul.
Nobody knows the actual lyrics of that song. Clearly,
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought he was free balling it as well.
In the Arms of an Angel. Is that not the only lyrics of that song?
Yeah.
Nope, there are more.
He's
Also,
in prison. That's all I know.
one more piece of news from me. RoboCop, Rogue City, video game news, is getting a standalone expansion this summer. Peter Weller is back once again to voice RoboCop, and I am back once again to buy it.
It's called Unfinished Business.
Speaking of unfinished
Of
business, I did not finish the RoboCop game, even though it was a lot of fun. So I need to do that
in
before
the
it comes out.
DLC, I think in the unfinished DLC, he comes back to kill the man that has married his wife after she moved on. Makes sense
Dude,
to me.
I buy that for $1.
if I can buy upgrades for my gun, I'll shoot him a lot.
I hope he regenerates health, so you can shoot him up till he's almost dead, and then let him regenerate, and then shoot him up some more.
I'm farming my wife's husband. Leave me alone.
We'll stay in her bedroom, hunting the husband.
Tim, what is your news for the week?
This is what happens when you fuck a man in the act. Sorry, I went.
I'm making about Vietnam,
Big
Walter.
Lebowski.
Gotta love Walter.
There you go.
Just a little bit of news. They shut down, WB Games shut down Monolith Studios, which, for the horror aficionados out there, they made the Fear games, which Fear 1 and 2 were fantastic. Fear 3, I played through with my wife. It was not great, but she loved playing the Ghost, and I played Point Man. We had a great time with it. But they also, that means that the patent for the Nemesis system from Shadow of War, which is one of the most inventive systems in any video game ever, is still under copyright, and now there's probably like no one to talk to like, I don't know, get access to that copyright to put it into your game for at least 10 more, like 10 more years, like 2035, I think is when that patent runs out. So that's super sad. But yeah, no, that's the only thing I have. But yeah, the studio that created, again, Condemned was the other horror franchise they did. I remember Condemned was my first foray into like non-Resident Evil horror. It was kind of like
Is
the
that
precursor.
the one where you go to prison for murder, and then you got this demon inside of you? I played something.
I think that's Manhunt, is what you're thinking of, which was by Rockstar Games.
No, I remember Manhunt, because Manhunt was like, or you stealthed up on one guy at a time, and you had like scene.
Yeah, you created your own snuff films.
Yeah, this was. That's not what this was. This was just It was a third person shooter, but at a certain point you started to power up and had this demon inside of you that was really guilty of the murder that you were convicted for.
That is not Condemned.
It went deep in the horror. I'm gonna have to look this up and remember what this movie is, especially if we're going to do
the first Condemned. It was this is kind of the precursor to Outlast, which I'm a big fan of. It scared the hell out of me. But you played a detective, and you like very first mission, you're like, I think someone kills you, like beats your partner to death or something like that. I can't remember. But you're like tracking this person through like an abandoned apartment complex, and they're like always running past doors right out of eyesight and stuff like that. It was super spooky. At least as spooky as you can be on the Xbox 360. But that was one of my very first like dives into like I don't want to say that Resident Evil's not a real horror game, because it absolutely is. But like 3D horror. And then Resident Evil 4 came out, and I never looked back. So, but yeah, Condemned was really good. It's if you're into the Outlast horror, it's definitely worth a look. It's not as nice looking as Outlast, but yeah, it's fun. You do get a gun at some point, which is nice. Fuck you, Outlast, for never giving me a gun to fight shit. But no, it's a good one. So, but the Fear 1 and 2 are classics when it comes to horror, especially that whole like Doom sort of aspect of it, first person shooter thing. It's really good. So, but yeah, they shut down because WB Games can't make a good game. I'm pretty sure they made the Suicide Squad game, and that flopped. Chris says it's actually pretty good. I haven't played it yet, but
what little I played was fun, but then I never went back to it, so it wasn't
right. So
they worked on
thinking of is called The Suffering.
The Suffering. There you go.
Okay.
Look that up.
Nobel.
I'll have to play it.
That is it. So I just came over to look, and that is absolutely it was great. There were some like
familiar.
Was pretty good.
There were some dark aspects of that. Like there's one where you are out of the prison on a beach, and you can see slave ships, ghosts of slave ships have pulled up, and like it talks about how brutally treated those slaves that came across from Africa. And like if you're one who if there's something that I can collect and read, or like tapes you can collect and learn more of this lore and history, I'm a fucking slut for that shit in a video game. And this had a ton of it. So
all right. Well, there we go. There's your news for the week. There's your Arms of an Angel for a week. And did you have another thing, or were you just?
No,
No, I was just,
Okay.
I was transitioning.
So yeah, one last check-in for the breaking and entering. Jeff looks relatively fine, but these things
Jeff,
can
are you
change
safe?
at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I got
Blink
the door
twice
shut,
if you're safe.
locked.
The door shut. We're good to go.
That protected me from the government at one point, so checks out.
Just look us in the camera and blink once for yes and 2 for no. Are you safe? Holy
It's Morse
shit.
code.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He's either really safe or really not safe. We can't tell. Was it even or odds?
All right, out of the newsroom we go. All right, Dave. It was your pick this week. Give us your box. Back of the box VHS description of the
right.
demon disorder.
Man, you thought your family had generational curses. Down under, the Riley family is passing demons and dead dads around like candy corn on Halloween. Once they get this whole kerfuffle settled, well, congratulations, Riley family. Now you're wanted for crimes you didn't commit. And you've got a problem. If you've got a problem, maybe you can hire someone else, because these fuckers, all they do is bicker and bitch and fucking complain. It's annoying.
I don't think I'm gonna rent this one. I think I'll leave this one right here.
Right here. Right there on the shelf. Thank you, Blockbuster. I'll see you next week.
Flip it over.
Family drama.
You're like, no. Let me put that one right.
Emotionally unavailable men. That doesn't even sound real.
I thought so, like, from the jump, like, you see the brothers like don't get along, right? But I thought that the little quips that they like worked into the script, like, they're dealing with some really fucked up shit. And like the little quips they like bring in there,
Yeah.
I thought it brought like levity to it. I enjoyed the little quips. I enjoyed them quite a bit. It actually made me enjoy the movie more than I would have.
I don't want to give the wrong impression with the back of the box description. That's meant for hilarity.
That's their fault. They wrote that, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
You just read it.
I didn't think it was bad. I feel like that's kind of pretty realistic. Like, me and my brothers, if one of us starts to talk about something serious or deep, you know someone's going to come in with a joke about the other one being a fag. So
They do that quite
don't cancel
often in
me.
this movie.
Don't cancel me. I'm just saying we give each other a hard time, and that's what brothers do.
It was yeah. I thought those moments were a lot of fun. I did I liked the acting. Acting. I use that term a little loosely. I like the acting. I think my favorite part of this whole movie was not the story. The story was a little flat for me. I did like the visual effects though. I thought they were pretty good. So
I mean, let's start there and talk about that. Like, at the start, you get the stillborn calf, like, that's born inside out or whatever. I thought it was pretty good. It looked pretty wet. I would have liked to seen
the whole birth.
I know, like, obviously
Yeah,
it wasn't dead because that's why he had to kill it. So I would have liked to seen it breathe a little bit or move a little bit more or something.
I want to see it blow chunks when it got shot.
Just on look.
Like, what are we doing with our lives?
With-
Where's your budget?
The cap scene, like, set in the present, like, here are the two brothers at the farm, and then it goes to the other brother at the auto shop. Because Jake's beard keeps changing. Like, I understand, like, there's flashbacks and his beard is dark, but at the beginning of this scene, his beard's dark, and then the next time you see him, he's got a lot of white.
Oh, well.
There's one more other scene in there where his beard goes dark again. I forgot. Wait, we're still in the present, right? Like, did he go and like, Rogaine, some touch up?
Have you never heard of Just for Men? Have you never heard of Just for Men? He's like, I know I got to fight this demon. They cut out all the product placement. Originally, he was like, I know I got to fight this demon, but first, I got to use Just for Men.
It's the scene from Wayne's World where he's like, we're not corporate sellouts. That'd be really lame, man, as they eat from a bag of Doritos.
Here, take a Nuprin.
Little, yellow, different.
I thought the Father George demon, when he was in demon makeup, was great. It was so good. And it ruined Philip's black contacts. I did not give a shit about him being possessed. He looked like a joke compared to cut him out of the fucking movie. I thought he was Jake's son for 3/4 of the movie till I was like, wait, they're brothers?
The little brother.
I totally missed that. But cut him the fuck out. He is worthless after you see the demon dad and then you see him possessed. I was like, no. Even the return of dad at the end, that demon was like, it didn't do anything worthwhile, even though it looked cool.
Yeah.
Cut it too. Just give us the old man in that makeup, because it was better than both of those things.
It was scary.
Yeah.
I did like how, like, the first time you see Philip, when I don't know the garage brother. God damn, I can't get their name.
Gracie.
Here. Philip.
Yeah,
Gracie, Graham, yeah. When he goes to the house and you see Philip the morning of his birthday or the morning after, whatever it was, and he's putting on his coat and he's got the shit under his arm, the little rash, I liked the progression. It didn't just like happen at once. And there's I don't know a whole lot of other possession movies that have this possession affects your physical appearance, or there's a physical manifestation. So I thought that was really kind of cool. But I do agree that at the end, when he's in the garage and he looks up all dramatic and he's got the black contacts on, there wasn't enough going on.
Yeah, I was like, what is this, 2007?
The lore was really spotty when it came to like the actual possession, which I didn't like, because like they were possessing Philip at one point. They're also possessing Graham at one point. The older brother is unaffected. Like Jamie, was his name Jamie?
Jake.
So Jake was unaffected. There's no really rhyme or reason other than they're just related. So then we now know that Jake was adopted, because it didn't affect him at all.
Only got affected because he got bit by Philip bit him, so that's why he got infected.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, he did have the physical contact there, but
when he goes to meet him in the garage, he asks him if he's still taking his tablets. Like, if that's is that ever brought up ever again? Like, they're taking some kind of medicine. I
assume that he has depression.
I assumed it was something to keep them from turning into demons like Dad, but what medicine is that?
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's Nuprin.
Let me read my anxiety medicine.
Yeah, Demonol.
Prevents demon possession. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there in the Nuprin bottle. But no, the lore was spotty, like at best. Like it didn't, and that's the whole thing. Like, okay, so Graham got it from getting bit by Philip, but how did Philip get it? Like
close contact with Dad, because he killed Dad. And so here's what I think. I don't mind the spottiness of the lore, because you leave holes in the lore. That way, if you do a sequel, you can start to fill in some of those blanks, and it doesn't hem you into this too tightly to the story. So you have a little bit of wiggle room there. So I think that's kind of brilliant. I'm going to give it a pass, and I'll talk about that later too. Another reason why I give the story a little bit of a pass. But I really think, and I went back and forth on what exactly the demon disorder, this possession is. And I have two theories, and I'll throw them both out there, and you can tell me if you guys believe one or both or a little bit of both or neither one. Fuck off, get out of the show, you're done, we're fired. One is dementia, and the other one is addiction. And I thought that is the true crux of this generational disease that is being passed from father to son. And I know I feel that way a lot because generationally, Hyatts are alcoholics. Hold on a minute while I take another drink.
Oh shit.
We almost just watched an ice cube get
Hyatts are
lodged.
alcoholics. Hyatts are alcoholics. That's why, but luckily I don't have a problem.
You can afford it.
Yeah. Absent any internet evidence. But even when my dad was a drinker, he always kind of preached to us kids like, this is horrible. I don't want you guys to go down the same path I did. Don't ever take up drinking. Don't even drink one drink. It's bad for Hyatts. We have a trouble. We have a genetic predisposition, which there is a lot of debate about the genetic predisposition to alcoholism. And the biggest question is, how much do the genetic factors play in? Because there are genetic factors, and how much of it is learned behavior. But either way, this is something that is passed down from generation to generation. Also, dementia has very strong genetic ties that can be passed down through the family. And there are also a lot of lifestyle choices that are passed family to family that we know lead to dementia as well. So that's why I kind of went with those things. When the dad is talking to the kids in flashback, it really feels like he's talking like, I don't know how long I'm going to have my mind. I don't want to live like this. Right. I don't want this. I want you guys to take care of me, so I don't just continue to deteriorate. So, I like I said, I went back and forth, and I'll shut up for a minute and let you guys. What do you think about those competing theories?
I don't know how much stock I take with the whole addiction thing, because it like the one brother kicks the drinking habit, right? Jake still drinks. You don't ever really see Philip drinks. You don't know if he's a drinker or not. So that's a whole thing. I mean, it could be part of it. I mean, maybe the not drinking is why they got infected and Jake didn't, because he drank. I don't know. But I do like the whole generational dementia thing, because it does, though. Now that you mention it, those flashbacks definitely feel like and you see this way more than I think. Definitely way more than I do. But like when they're lucid, right? Like when they're cognizant and they're aware of themselves, like, but they know that they have this affliction. I would like to think that that's probably a conversation that they have with their family members, is like, hey, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, and I apologize for that. But the dad was like, give the whole movie to that man, because he was wonderful in this movie. He was great. I loved him.
He's really the only, or at least the most established actor.
No, I've seen him in stuff before, for sure.
Yeah. Fringe? Was it Fringe he was in?
Yeah,
Jeff?
Fringe. So good.
Yeah.
He's not in my fridge.
And he was amazing. He was like the guy that made that show. So.
Mac has a couple things here. Mac says, "Hi guys, religion is usually a cheat code in possession movies, but this one flips the script. In your opinion, does it challenge the whole faith saves the day idea, or does it still fall back on it?"
I did like the one scene where they chain Philip up. It's towards when they're in the garage.
Yeah.
and they're like, Graham is like, we need to make a crucifix, and he's like, we don't believe in God, and he's like, but Dad did. That may mean something. It's like, I don't know, just throw shit at the wall.
Right.
And that it doesn't go, but much more faith than really that for most of it, which was nice for a possession movie not to be like the power of Christ compels you, the power of because how many more times do we need that in a possession movie? Let's get a little bit different. So it's got that going for it.
It does have that going for it. Another question I have,
it's almost Exorcist 3. We don't need a prayer, we need a bullet.
If all else fails.
The when they find the Bible in the dad's room and there's a flask inside of it, what meaning does that have?
Alcohol was his religion.
Alcoholic.
Okay, so he was also an alcoholic. Okay.
Yeah. So he was having alcohol, probably shouldn't have had it.
Didn't the flask have like a cross on it though?
It was in a Bible. That makes it Christian flask anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been blessed.
I mean, Jesus told us to eat his flesh, drink his blood. What a sick bastard.
So the whole thing is like, was he like just drinking holy water, thinking this would unafflict him? Is that what that was in there? It was holy water?
Maybe he knew that his sons would never look into the Bible, so he would just hide it there.
Okay.
I think it was. I think that was another piece of evidence towards
the addiction,
the alcoholism.
Right.
Because Graham seems like he's kind of kicked. Mm-hmm. He's removed himself from the family, which, I mean, this is a part of healing for a lot of people, is removing yourself from a toxic familial relationship. Sometimes you have to kind of cut off. And he starts drinking when he gets pulled back into the family drama.
Right.
And that's when he gets possessed by the genetic affliction. So
what? No, he already had the thing going on before he took the drink. He said he hadn't had a drink in 2 years. I remember that. He already had the thing growing though. But he didn't have an eyeball though.
I think it's the guilt and the trauma. I think it all kind of goes together. Like I said, I'm not 100% sold on addiction and alcoholism over the dementia. I kind of get torn between and family trauma. So
yeah. No, it's the family dynamic, I think, was my favorite part of the film, was the family dynamic. I really enjoyed it. Like, they had this, like, they never mentioned the mom. So
that was one of my questions. I wasn't sure if I missed it or what, but I never literally in my notes, I'm like, did they anything?
No, I don't remember a single word.
It's too bad.
I absolutely believe you had a man, a single father, raising his kids the best he knew how.
I wish you would have taken Philip with her.
I'm not gonna, even if we look at this from an addiction standpoint and a generational curse standpoint, I'm not blaming the father for the generational curse he was given either. If anything, even though he kind of is lingering and he's coming back, like he's repossessed and he's back in the garage, and this family dynamic is coming back all around again. Even then, he's a victim of the trauma that was probably passed to him initially as well. Yeah. Like, these things don't come out of thin air, really. If anything, he gave the boys the tools to fight this affliction, even though he was unable to fight it himself.
That makes sense. That definitely leaves more credence for the whole, like, alcoholism, like, addiction sort of thing. I like that a lot, actually. That's pretty dope. That is yeah.
Neither Jake or Graham know how to deal with the problem, because everything that happens in this movie, horror speaking, is because they left the possessed person in another room. Every time they're like, come here, you come here. Okay, we'll leave Philip over there. So I was thinking, anyways, we lost Jeff.
Oh,
but
Or
the
mission.
come here. We're gonna talk about shit. We're gonna leave the demon over in the like three rooms over. Wait, what was that? Happens like 17 times during the whole movie. I'm like, this is keep an eye on the fucking thing. It's the problem. You guys are the problem now. You're letting the fucking demon do whatever it's wanting to do. You're so stupid. I could smack both of them and kill Philip.
I see. I think that was them. Like, that was them going back to their familial roots. Though, is like they were the two older brothers, right? So like leaving the little brother in the other room while they talk about shit to like figure shit out, just probably comes second nature to them. Like, I've never had like an older brother and a younger brother at the same time, so I don't know, but that seems pretty legit.
And I think that's what I think families do this. They think they're protecting the younger people by not having these conversations in front of them.
Right.
But you can't, you're unless you get them out of these fucked up situations, they're traumatized too. And leaving them out of the conversation does not lend itself towards ending these generational curses. So,
right.
But it's but again, also very natural. It really is. It's misguided.
That's how I felt.
But it's
because when I'm with Chris, at first I was like, why the fuck are they leaving this dude alone when he's a fucking psychopath? And then I'm like, oh, it's their little brother. They're just doing older brother shit right now. Like, that's what they're doing.
He's half dead and bleeding to death and on his last leg. Let's put him in the other room so we can talk about getting a six pack.
I think they had more faith in the stock of his vitality than that. A little bit, just a little bit.
He's younger, he'll heal faster. Don't worry about
exactly. I felt more like it was like they were protecting him from a. I think they both, in the back of their mind, here's how it played out in my head canon. In the back of their mind, they both knew that they might have to have a conversation about killing their little brother, like they did their dad. And they kept separating themselves from him to talk, but neither one of them wanted to bring up that topic. But they knew that it was on the table, like an unspoken fucking sort of thing. I think that's what drove that. Now, I may be giving the director way more credit than he deserves, and I may be reading way too much into this, but that's how it read to me, is like they're protecting him by like not being like, okay, we have to fucking kill him now.
And that's deep. I kind of didn't think about that, and that's deep, and that's fucked up, man.
That is so fucked up.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It does. It absolutely does. But their shenanigans, they never actually get a chance to talk. They keep leaving him alone to talk, but never actually discuss anything.
No, they bitch and moan at each other the entire time, which was hilarious to me. The little one-liners they gave each other were fucking amazing. They were so good.
What about the fucking pissing contest of Jake? Like, so Graham is not even associating with the family, but he still gets a cake for his brother's birthday. So he's still like he is emotionally separated himself from the family, from the trauma, but he still thinks about them. He built the cake, or bought the cake, or made the cake, whoever got the fucking cake. And then Jake is just fucking eating it fucking by the fistful, just like, great cake. Like a goddamn baby gorilla.
Yeah, I think Jake is being the oldest is definitely the most traumatized out of the three. Because like Jake makes some very super questionable decisions during this entire movie. Whereas
he's also
Graham,
the least willing to inflict violence on his brothers.
Oh yeah, no, he is absolutely a protector through and through. I mean, he hits the cop at one point, thinking that's going to help save them. It's like, and then shoots himself in the foot because he doesn't practice good gun handling skills. That's for another movie or another show.
The cop that gets fucking. That was a what the fuck moment for me.
Oh, they gets their head bashed in.
Yeah.
By the demon. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, because up until then, like I'm thinking, okay, whatever comes of this, like the cops are here, but they're going to come to some kind of fucking understanding, and everything's going to be jolly because that's how American movies go. But surprise, bitch! Surprise, motherfucker! I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make that on the soundboard next week. From Dexter. Surprise, motherfucker! Surprise, motherfucker! This ain't an American movie, and there are no happy endings, and the cop gets fucking took out.
Oh, it's
And
brutalized.
now you're all cop killers. Now you're all branded cop killers, and probably traffickers, because at the end of the movie they take off with the little girl too.
So the cop kill was the best kill in the movie. Do they find the demon body though when the other cops arrive? Because it's there.
Yeah, but are they going to say like, oh, clearly this demon was possessing people and that's who committed these murders? Or they're going to be like,
well, if they do a good forensic analysis, that cop's head blood is going to be all over that demon's hand.
They're going to cover up the demon body. If the demon body's still there, didn't disappear, they didn't take it with it, they're just going to ignore it happened and still go after the brothers.
Yeah, the men in black are going to show up and wipe everyone and fucking take over the scene.
I've played enough video games to know that as soon as you're not looking at the enemy's dead body, it disappears.
Yes.
That's true.
So I assume that's what happens in real life.
But more on the demon, the visual effects of the grotesque sort of like embryo demon were really cool. I definitely saw the dad's face in it a little bit, which was dope.
Am I wrong to say it kind of looked like the monster at the end of Substance?
Oh, absolutely it did. Absolutely.
It wasn't as big, and it didn't have as many tits and faces. It only had the one face.
Right.
But it was a very similar creature design. So I was kind of there. Perfect.
I heard.
Chris, perfect time to come back, man, because I was saving this for you.
I heard tits.
I'm here.
I'm talking makeup and effects. This movie, written by two young men, one of those went on to direct it, Stephen Boyle. So I'm going to give him the bulk of the credit here, Stephen Boyle. If you look his IMDb up, this is not a writer. This is not a producer or a director. This is a special effects guy.
Yeah.
Who somehow got his opportunity to make a movie. And so, what little, because I don't have a whole lot of complaint about the story. Like I said, I think holes in the lore. I don't know that it's intentional, but holes in the lore lend you to making a second movie if this one is successful. And there's the mid-credit scene where part of this fucking demon is still around. So obviously there's the potential for a sequel here, which holes in the lore lend themselves to. But Stephen Boyle, special effects guy, making this movie, I'm slow clapping for you, man, because he did really good. Like I would imagine if I was a special effects guy, like that's my area of expertise. So I'm going to lean heavy on the special effects and go light on the story. And I thought the story was really good. I thought it was plenty adequate, and I'm dying to hear what Chris and Jeff have to say about the all of the special effects and all of the things we see. We have the bite, we have the rash, we have the inside out calf, we have the tongue that they catch and put in the fucking cake dish, and then it mutates into something more. We have the body at the end that is whole birthed out of poor Philip, and then we have the
squid
slime trail indicating that the tongue thing is still around. So
that is,
what did you guys,
that was the mid-cred. I didn't know there was a in credits thing, so I did not see it.
Got a sticker. I would not have stuck around if it wasn't
Amazon
for two things.
fucking
One being the MCU, and two being the Horror House podcast, because nowadays I stick around to watch the credits and scanning, and most of the time I don't catch every name, but I'm always kind of scanning to see if there's a name that rings a bell in anything. So
once they start rolling, I'm so kind of over the end credits stuff that I don't even wait anymore. Especially for like this kind of a movie, but also I watched it on Amazon Prime, Shudder on Amazon Prime, and watching anything on Prime, as soon as the credits hit, it's like, are you ready for the next movie that we think you should watch?
Yep.
And I fell asleep like 30 minutes before it was over. And I woke up to The Exorcists, and it kind of still played thematically. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It was a real Dave moment for me. I was like, I don't get this. This is
it's not a full day moment till you rewind and then fall asleep at the same spot again. That's what happens when you get old.
But I thought the effects were all good. Obviously the dad makeup was above and beyond. I mean, I'd put him up there. But he's
the
not
dead
used
chicken,
enough.
the dead fucking calf.
Yeah. It's some of it is a little bit ruined because of bad CG though. There's a moment with the like return
slug thing,
the returned resurrected dad when he's in the husk, and like they put like a mask on it to like CG the mouth opening. I'm like, you don't need that. You're ruining your whole shot. And then the squid thing they pull out of him at the end, like its tentacles are CG, and I could not look past those two in particular.
I wonder if there was a pressure for that, because when you Stephen Boyle being an effects guy, he's got that grounding in practical effects, and the practical effects in this are so good.
Yeah.
And what do we want in CG? Like when we talk about CG effects, what do we want? We want CG to layer on top of and enhance a practical effect. I don't want something out of whole cloth. So you have this, it's just not pulled off very well. So I wonder if budget or studio pressure plays a little bit into that.
They could have saved $10,000 if Jake had just shaken a squid with squiggly legs.
Yeah.
Easy.
You just put a puppeteer underneath and fucking do this with some rods that come up through the legs so they fucking move.
You're going bougie.
Some Ray Harryhausen stuff. Come on. Stop motion.
It's going stop motion. I'm like, just shake it. Just give it a little shake. Shake it for daddy. Jake's like, please stop.
My hand is attacking me, as evidenced by the motion.
Your CG kind of is not the best, but it's on the fly, so I can forgive you.
There was no CG there. It was all practical.
It's all practical effect.
Impractical
I fooled you. I deserve the Academy Award.
You son of a bitch. You win.
You thought there was a hat there.
We have not even talked about Cole.
Yeah,
the
other
girl
best actor in this movie,
who is. You could have rubbed your finger the wrong way on the script and erased her, which is unfortunate because she was fine. She was really only there to pass a joint to Philip at one point and to make a joke. She served no other
joint. That was a fucking hog leg. That thing was fucking great.
It looked pretty rough.
Yeah. I'm very certain there were no effects there that was the real deal.
I coughed as soon as I saw that. It was too real.
The Cole was, in my mind, she was the anchor, like, to a reality the brothers needed and just ignored. Yeah. Like, she was like, this is fucked up. We need to call the police. Like, you guys need to stop, think for a moment, and deal with some shit. And they were like, no, we're gonna deal with it on our own. We're fine. Everything's fine. How are you? Like they were
deal with this the best we know how. on her own. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, that's pretty much what they said.
You pay taxes. You can call the police. They will show
Again,
up.
this is the reality of a traumatized family. You made the comment of like Philip and this. Traumatized families often cater to the most broken individual of the family because that's the only way they can keep the peace. But they're not actually keeping the peace that way. They're perpetuating the problem.
Right.
And they don't reach out for help and stuff like that. So I don't know how much of this
I liked her role. I thought that it kind of brought out that what you're saying there is like that, keep it in the family, keep it in the family, keep it in the family, this whole mentality they have, when, you know, greater minds should have prevailed and to like seek professional help, especially since we found out that the demon can be dealt with a bullet, like,
or a crowbar,
like,
or what was it? The club.
I can't.
I
I don't know
seen
what
a club since 1996 until this movie came.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, no, she was like she was us, the viewer, basically in this movie, right? Like, call the police, like call paramedics, like get shit taken care of, and they're like, no, we got this, and then immediately shoots himself in the foot. like Cole gets her big scene, and then he immediately shoots himself in the foot, which was fucking phenomenal. I did not like how Jake held her hostage with a gun. That bugged the fuck out of me. I did not like that.
I don't, but I think that's again plays to reality. Is
it does.
You know, we will cross lines to protect my broken family.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Chris, I don't think you heard did you hear our theory on why they left him alone so many times?
Little brother?
Yeah.
I heard I heard some of it.
I just want to get your take on it, because I think you had to step away for a minute. I think that they left him alone because they knew that we have to kill Philip was on the table, but neither one of them wanted to bring it up. So they kept leaving him alone to talk, hoping that one of them would bring it up so they could fucking deal with business.
But every time,
We Have to Kill Philip is the name of my prog rock band.
So. There you go.
God damn, you need a keyboard player.
I know a guy.
I'm sure if one of them brought up the fact that they were going to kill Philip, then the other one's like, no.
Right, yeah, one of them was hoping to be the White Knight, and neither one of them gave the other one the chance. That's what happened there, for sure.
The thing that I don't like, that's fine, but the thing that I don't like is every time they do it, they get partway into the conversation and they're like, what was that?
Probably
it's your fucking
brother.
We've done this 15 times. You've not figured out what's going on? That thing that just ran through the shadows? That's Philip. That's Philip. Or your fucking squid dad. I don't know.
They boarded up Dad's room when there's nothing in there. Like, why board up Dad's room?
Hold on. We have established there was a Bible with a flask inside of it in that room. There was something in that room.
There was something evil in the room.
I agree.
Keep alluding to there was something evil in that room.
Hey, Gracie, let's board up that room. There's a Bible in there.
Their memories were in that room. I think that was the evil.
They said that their music starts playing, and it's the same thing happened when Dad was alive. Like the radio starts playing, so I feel like they just thought the room was possessed.
I mean, they did kill him in there, so
they just kind of boarded it up.
It is a crime scene.
It is a murder room.
Yeah.
Also, I think the reason that Philip never got the dad makeup treatment is I think Graham killed Dad, which gave the demon full reign of his body, and that's why he went through that transformation right after Graham killed him, and then Philip killed him again. So Graham killed him with the pillow, right? And he was sitting there mourning the loss of his father, And then the father gets up, and that's when he has that fucking
back up.
dope ass makeup on.
And
then Philip comes in.
Dad, and then Phil killed the demon.
Right.
Okay. That's very interesting. That's very
because he doesn't have that makeup on until after Graham like suffocates him to death, right? And then he comes back and he's all fucking super demonified. I think that was the demon having full control. Philip never underwent that transformation because he never died.
That was a big Evil Dead moment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I killed him. Oh my god, he's alive.
Yeah.
I think that they should have just cut Philip and Cole and made it about Jake and Graham. They would have saved money on two actors, and they could have narrowed their story down and cut the worst parts out.
It really is already a very tight movie. So I think the runtime was
super tight.
Right at a hour and a half.
It's like an hour 20 without credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super tight.
That's
why I also give a pass to the lore, because like they didn't have a ton of time to like delve into it. But I am such a fucking lore whore. Like give me lore. Like give me the rules of the universe that I'm in, and I'll theorize for days. But like I don't know the rules of this. It doesn't make much sense to me. Like it's obviously transmissible, but like or transmittable, but like
transistor.
Get it? What's that?
Transistor.
According to the dad,
transgender.
He was gonna get it. If you're gonna get it,
right? That's my whole thing. Like Philip got it. We don't know how he got it. We think that Graham got it from Philip's bite.
Yeah.
But like, how did Philip get it? Like, how is it transmitted? Like,
he's the youngest.
Again.
And I think it's innate.
That's the rule.
Just passes down the generation.
Jake got whole blood spit in his face and didn't get it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so there are some questions here.
Oh, I know what it is.
I'm biased here.
I know what it is. More. They were fucking the cows. They were fucking the cows. Why was it Inside Out? Why? Because one of them fucked the cows. And
with
guess what?
Hog.
Yeah. And then it's in the cows, and guess what? Now it has a baby.
So
probably Jake. My money is on Jake fucking the cows.
Nope. See, Philip fucked the cow because that's how he got control. So Philip just has a fucking huge hog.
I think it has to start with the dad fucking the cow.
Philip's young and handsome, and he's in a couple other movies. So as an actor, he's clearly he's a pretty handsome guy. I think it's Jake. Jake is clearly the cow fucker. You put them in a lineup and said, which one of these guys fucks a cow? You're pointing out Jake.
You're right, but we're going off the lore of the movie.
I think Philip's
get the affliction.
Philip's an incel and can only fuck cows that his dad has previously fucked, hence what the movie happens. And then it gives birth to Dad and Philip's creation, which is an Inside-Out demon calf.
So you just gave away the plot to my other movie.
I don't want to.
Now I got to work on.
I don't want to ruin your sequel.
Is a cuck incel? He only fucks the cows that his dad fucked.
Yeah.
And also, he's involuntarily celibate.
Fuck. I wish I had named the episode different now.
Cuck incel ruins family. But no, I that's my only that's why I felt the story was so thin, is because it doesn't give me those lore points. And I am super biased when it comes to this. Like I'm a huge anime fan, as you guys know. The anime that I love the most are the ones that give me all the lore up front, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, like Dragon Ball Z. Like, they give me all the lore up front. They give me reasoning for these things.
Ichiban, motherfucker.
And then I can... What's that?
Ichiban, motherfucker.
No.
No, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the lore dump.
Oh, yeah.
You played Blue Sky Dragon Knight. Ha! You fell into my trap card. Because 3 rounds ago, I played Root Beer Whiskey on top of the... A&W card.
You're not wrong. Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore dumps every time. I saw an amazing TikTok today. He was like, I just got this dude, like, he looks like he would be like really into home security. He's like super big beard, like, and he's like, I got no new home security thing. It's really, really dope. And like he like goes to his front door, and it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon rug sitting in front of his door. He's like, come through my door, you're going instantly to Shadow Realm, bro. Like, I fucking lost it. I was dying laughing. It was so good. But yeah, the lack of lore in this is what took me out of it, because I was looking for it the entire time, because I have a predisposition to that. So, and that is a very biased opinion. So that
I
really
don't
took
want
me out
an
of it.
opinion now. I don't want an opinion now, but when we give our finals, I do want to hear from everybody. Would you watch a sequel if Stephen Boyle is again writer director? So I don't want it. I don't want it now. I want it when we do our finals.
Okay. Chris looks like he just sucked on a lemon.
Well, is it that time? Does anybody have anything else they want to add to the discussion, to the pot, before we get to our overall opinions and rate this?
I want to hear from Jeff. It's been a minute since I heard from Jeff. Jeff, the hour 20-minute runtime, is that too little, or is that the right amount for an entry into this? I mean, to me, it was kind of refreshing to get something that popped along pretty quick.
Yeah, I felt like the runtime was great. Like everything, it wasn't really a lot of moments where it was just like dragging. I felt.
Yeah.
You know, there were like, you know, like I said, there's a lot of moments where like we need more information about what's going on or more of this, but for the most part, it kept right along. It would go back and talk about the dad with the kids,
Yep.
or demon dad, and so you get a lot of back and forth. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. It wasn't really a lot of lull time to go, oh God, let's get moving on. Like it just kept moving.
Right.
Good point. Even those flashbacks, they gave the information they needed and they got out of them. It wasn't just sitting around sappy. It's like, oh, remember that one time we played Uno with Dad, and then for 5 minutes they're like, reverse. Oh yeah, we'll reverse on you. Oh yeah, we'll draw 4.
I did like how they used the sepia filter on every flashback to let me know it was a flashback. Thank you for the sepia filter.
And
The
Jeff,
best part is when the dad spits on all the children. Oh, I'm brushing my teeth. Oh, if you don't get on my way, I'm gonna spit on you. I was like, oh my God, he just spat on them, and then he just wipes it off. Like, oh, laughing like, no, it's disgusting.
That got me thinking. How old is? I mean, obviously, you got to suspend a little bit of disbelief because dude's pushing 400 years old, but
Yeah, right.
like he's got these, you know, like maybe approaching teenager age children, and he's looking like he just got out of the fucking dirt bowl. He looks like he just came out of the fucking Great Depression.
His oldest son is actually not in the movie. It's the Crypt Keeper.
He's like, I warned you. I'm like, watch the dentures, old man. They don't, especially yours. I don't know that they.
We painted on the cave walls.
You rather just CGI him young?
They might as well. They should have took every other CGI thing they did, or they didn't do that, and then just like erased some wrinkles.
Yeah, that dude was creased for sure.
Yeah.
Little spackle.
If you took a toothpick, you could clean through him and find DNA of the dinosaurs right in there.
They could have found the guy who did Mrs. Doubtfire and definitely like de-aged him.
So, side note, outside of the movie, John Noble, who plays the father, his father is skin cancer and his mother is wrinkles. So it's no wonder he looks like that, guys.
Oh.
His mother is the original wrinkles.
Daddy, skin cancer. Can we go to the park? I tell you what, Mommy Wrinkles, time has come for us to rate this movie.
Don't wear your sunscreen.
Sunscreens for good bitches. Words, letters, and orders. Anyways, Dave, you picked this, so you're gonna go last and give your opinion. We're gonna start over there with Mr. Jeff. give us your overall opinion, and give us your rating for the Demon Disorder.
I really enjoyed it. They left it wide open for a sequel, so I really hope they'll go into more of the Demon Disorder, because I feel like the titles become more broad spectrum of, hey, like, okay, we had the cow thing, but they didn't really delve into it. Like, oh, it's happening again. Like, all right, so it's gonna be a lot of like weird, creepy things happening, but it just kind of moves from that to like, oh, look, he's possessed and he's killing the chickens, and okay, and now he's got some weird demon growth coming off of him. And then it moves on from there, kind of gets into a little more body horror kind of stuff. So I just really hope they just have a sequel and open it up into more. I really thought it was pretty good, but they already killed off their good actor anyways, but he was already dead at the beginning. So maybe there'll be a lot more flashbacks with John Noble. But I'd give it a 7. I rather enjoyed it.
A 7. I have to change nothing. That was your rating last week as well. Tim, your turn.
So I thought it was pretty. I thought the story was pretty thin. And again, they did set it up for a sequel, so that would be cool if they did come with a sequel. I would definitely watch it, hoping that they would delve into more of the horror, like Jeff said, like, why were calves dying when it seemed like this was a pretty like singular thing? I mean, the radio and all that, like, there was definitely some paranormal shit happening, but it seemed very kind of close quarters as a like where it was happening. So like, why are these calves sick too? That's weird to me. So yeah, no, I would definitely watch a sequel, especially if Cole's in it, because she was the best actor in the movie. Even if Chris doesn't agree with me. But no, I thought it was good. It'd be cool if they did a sequel, if they like Cole got infected and like then it affected her family as well, and they like dove into that. That'd be kind of cool, and worked its way up the chain as well as opposed to like down the chain. That'd be kind of fun. So that'd be cool. But the story was thin. The visual effects were amazing. I really liked them. The CGI was bad in a few parts, but the practical effects were really, really good. That's the thing that stuck with me the most, is how good everything kind of looked as far as the horror goes. And I really like the levity of the brother interactions. Really enjoyed that. That was probably with the exception of the visual effects, that was my favorite part of the movie, was the comedy, when it's definitely not a comedic situation, but it felt natural. And I liked that. It felt like that is something that somebody would say in that situation to their brother. I dug that quite a bit. So, but as far as a horror movie goes, horror movie, I would give it a 5. I was never really creeped out. I was never really uncomfortable. I get what they were going for. Like, it wasn't, but horror movie to me, I want to be creeped out. I want to be uncomfortable. And I never really got that with this, ever really. So it was very average. It was very just at par for the course as far as a horror movie goes.
There you go. A 5. And I do have to change yours because you weren't cool like Jeff, and I have to change yours because it wasn't the same last week.
Damn, Tim.
Max, stick around. We'll talk after we finish the ratings on what you said. But for me, I wanted to like this more. It has cool ideas. And we've already talked about Demon Father George. I thought that makeup was so great, and it's barely used. It's like Far Cry 3. Voss is like the coolest bad guy, and then he's dead 12 minutes later,
halfway through the game,
and you're like,
yeah,
why he isn't the main thing we're worried about? Why is cut Philip? Because that makeup just don't work. It looks like something. It looks like they're making a spoof of Twilight. I thought it was so bad compared to the dad. Almost anything was bad compared to the dad. But what they did with Philip was just not for me. I hated it. And Cole, I didn't say she was a bad actress, but the character itself, she was barely there. So I don't, but the spliff she was spunking was big greasy. Is that the proper verbiage for you guys?
I think that's what Gen Z says. It's a big greasy. Yeah, big greasy.
No cap.
But I think Jake. I like Jake. I like Graham as characters, as actors. I thought they did good, and I would have liked to just focused on them and their relationship with Dad, and like maybe do like the out of order thing that I'm not a fan of, but I think it could have worked in this aspect. Is he possessed? Is he not possessed? And then we could get into it. Maybe add a couple, cut Philip, cut Cole, add a couple more cops for cannon fodder. Bam, biggity bam. No CG. We'll save a couple $1,000. Hit me up. I don't have a passport, but we can email.
We can work up. We can do a treatment on your script.
But the demon hereditary thing is a cool idea. It just never got to a point that I was like, you did it. I was just like, the ending just kind of falls out. It doesn't fall apart. It just goes off. Like they kill the dad with a bullet, and I'm like, I'm not expecting like sparklers and the garage to collapse, but like suck him into a little sphincter on the floor. I don't know. Give me a little bit of more something. And then they just drive off in a Jeep, which I'm thinking, Graham gets in the car after they've ripped this fucking squid out of his chest. I'm like, they're going to make this dude drive now? And they pull off, and I'm like, oh, Australia. Gotcha. He's not driving. I was like, okay. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me.
The essential character of the story, Cole, is driving.
But yeah, there's all my stuff.
You want a sequel? Want a sequel?
No, I really don't.
No.
I don't. I don't think they would give me anything that I necessarily didn't already have. I'm not going to get more of the dad, which I think was the best part of the movie. And I just really don't need to go further with these people. But that's me. That's me. 5.5. Dave, this was your movie. First, into your review, tell us why you picked this one. How did you come across this?
Like I said, I was just scrolling one night. I was wide awake after Stella had rolled over, and I was just kind of flipping through. And like I said, I saw it a few times, but the thumbnail never really got me. And so finally, I gave in. I said, okay, like this clearly sounds like elevated horror, like the family trauma is the source of the horror, and instead of just a dude with a knife. So let's see what it's all about. And I liked it. I really liked this. I thought it was a good movie. I very much liked that a special effect guy, a special effect and makeup guy gets a chance to make a movie. And so, and I thought he did good. Clearly, there is not much budget here. But what budget they did have was put to good use. In fact, I should have already done this, and I failed. God damn it, Dave! Don't ever fail me like that again.
How dare you? How dare you do this?
Yeah, I'm logging into IMDb Pro so we can see what the budget is and how much the movie made. I can't. I've drank too much to spell demon. The demon disorder.
Sounds like you're having trouble saying demon.
A little bit.
Demon.
Okay. Where's the? I'm not.
Your
seeing
monitor's
the budget
right in front
being
of you.
released
I promise.
here.
It's tens of dollars.
Worldwide lifetime gross. God, is this
120,000, I think.
Okay.
I think that's 1.438 million as an Australian gross and 122 million
Yeah.
as a worldwide gross. That doesn't sound right.
I mean, 100% of its money.
Yeah. Okay.
But continue with your review. Your overall.
Anyway, I did like it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was, for a movie with this budget, it was way better acted than it had any right to be. Like a movie like this typically does not have this kind of acting. Like Jake looks like he came straight from the trailer park to the movie set. Like I said, Philip is well known down under. From what I saw, he's a little bit of a, like, the ladies love him down there. He's a little bit of a thing down there for the ladies. And I didn't actually look up Grace, but I feel like Gracie or Graham, I feel like I knew him from other things, but definitely the dad is from the Fringe. He's been a character actor around for a long time. So I thought it was well acted. I thought the practical effects were good. I would absolutely love to see a sequel. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, especially, I agree with Tim. As a horror movie, I want to see a little bit more. I want to feel a little bit more scared. So I gave it a 7, and that gives us an average of 6.125, a very respectable 6.125. So.
Damn. Dave, yet again, your rating is the same as last week. So
doing what I can. I'm trying to make it easy on you.
Look at these bougie guys up there. Try and do.
Yeah, I know. The new thing is Tim rates low.
You have stolen my job. Well, I did rate The Substance lower than you.
Yeah.
So I had that going for me.
Because you don't.
I mean,
you don't like
you were
cinema.
incredibly wrong when you rated The
Yeah.
Substance. Yes.
You don't like cinema, and that's fine. Fine.
That's so weird that you guys would just. Anyways, Jeff, welcome to our show.
All right.
Hey. Dave.
I'm not on the Twitch, but you made mention of a comment from Mac. Let's hear him.
Oh, I have to give you and Jeff your flowers first.
Oh, okay.
Flowers.
And then I gotta give Tim his. And there you have it. Yeah, Mac has, on Dave's theory, in classic horror, demons can be expelled. In this movie, the horror doesn't really end. Is that a commentary on how trauma and mental illness don't just disappear? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
I think it fits with my theory that this is underlying theme about either dementia or addiction. So that doesn't go away. I made mention of an alcoholic father, and when I was in 8th grade, when for Christmas, the big Christmas gift to all of us boys, I'm the oldest of 4 boys, was my dad quit smoking and drinking cold turkey for Christmas. And that I was in 8th grade. I'm a crusty old man. I'm 50 fucking years old. If you were to talk to my dad about addiction right now, he would tell you he is not a former alcoholic or he used to be an alcoholic or he used to be a drinker. My dad doesn't use that language. He is an alcoholic. Obviously, he has not had a drink since Christmas when I was in 8th grade. So all that time, he's gone back to school. He became a nurse. He got a degree in addictions counseling. He is an alcoholic, despite not drinking for all that time. And so that does lead credence to the idea that these things don't go away. You don't just fix it and then suddenly you're okay. It is a problem. So
something with the practical effects that kind of speaks to that is the fact that like they get wounds, right? They take the squid or the pustule or whatever you want to call it out of the wound. The wound is still there. So like they've removed the source of the wound, but the wound is still there. So that kind of speaks credence to the whole the whole shtick there, is that, you know, like they're still hurt even though it's been removed, so to speak. So
I once had a patient and who had a lot of addiction problems and anger control problems, and like he was paralyzed, but he would curse at staff, he would spit on staff, which is absolutely disgusting. And we worked together for a long time, like 2 years. I worked with like a kind of an amateur like counselor, just giving him somebody to talk to, talking about problems, talking through how do we get better, how do we not feel like we need to cuss everybody out and spit on everybody. And one of the things I told him, because his go-to at first was always, well, I apologize, so they need to get over it. And I had read the story, and I shared the story with him about a young man whose dad made him put a nail in the fence every time he lost his temper. He had to go out and just drive a nail in the fence in front of the house every time he lost his temper. And then his dad told him one day, like, look at all these nails in the fence. Like, it just is ugly. This is ugly. And this is all the times you've lost your temper. This creates this ugly image. So what I'm going to do is every time you can go a day without losing your temper and finding good coping, we'll take a nail back out. And so they started taking the nails back out of the fence. And when they got done, like all the nails are out of the fence, he was elated. Dad, you know, I did it. I controlled my anger so much that it got all the nails out of the fence. I'm done. I've officially put this behind me. And his dad walked him out there and looked at the fence one last time and says, you've removed all the nails, but the holes are still there. The scars are still there. The trauma has been done. So you're not finished with your journey. We're just kind of on to the next phase, which is actually making up for the damage you've done to other people. It's easy to turn around and say, thank you, or I'm sorry I lost my temper. But you've damaged these people, and saying I'm sorry is not enough. You have to actually do the repair work now. And so I you know, whatever that's worth to the story.
Yeah.
No,
I like that.
Very good.
And then he killed his son, I hear.
He's actually dead now, Chris, so thank you. I'm glad you made light of that. No, he really is, but that's okay.
I don't know if I've ever used one on me before. So
You did last week.
oh, that's right. I'm on a roll then. Damn.
Way to go. Way to go. Be proud of yourself.
Let me tell you how I would deal with race relations.
That makes you seem racist. that you went to stand by after you said, let me tell you how to deal with race relations.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Relations.
It's the insinuation.
You never want to insinuate that you're a racist.
But I'm subverting
Ever.
expectation, which is funny. They're like, "Oh, he is racist." Wait, but I'm not. So I'm unsubverting simultaneously. It's a long story. You got to work to get there.
It's a bad take.
No, but really, what I would do first is Never mind.
Oh shit. Okay.
Never mind.
Well, we're back.
Next week, coming up next week in the Horror House, we're getting a IRL kind of an
Getting a
episode.
little real life.
It is not movie time, and it is Tim's first time picking a topic. So
yeah,
he's still narrowing it down.
Yeah, still narrowing it down. We're gonna go over horror video games because I do love horror video games. I like them a lot. Again, I preach this every single week, but I like to feel uncomfortable and not in control. Horror video games do a very good job of doing that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some horror video game sort of a montage of my favorite horror games and my favorite genres within horror, because there are a lot of genres within horror video games. So want to go over that, and I may even have some old clips of Tim playing horror video games that might be funny for you guys to see, because I used to stream on Twitch myself. So yeah, I think it'd be fun to kind of go over that as a whole, because I do love it so much. It's near and dear to my heart. So but the horror video games will be the topic of next week for sure.
There you have it. Yeah. Final words? Actually, no final words. Let's check in one last time on just breaking an entering.
Are you still alive?
We're not cheering for your breaking and entering. We're just... Okay,
We're morbidly curious.
Morbidly curious. No, it's all good. The dogs have died, so no.
The dogs have died?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They died heroes.
Yes.
They died doing what they loved.
No, still alive.
I don't think I've ever used one on Jeff before. That's gonna go down in history. Anyways, about the homeless, I think I'm a child with this thing right now. All right, we're out of here. Horror video games next week.
Be creepy.
And Horror Hound in 2.5 weeks. Less than that.
I'm excited.
New business cards deliver on Monday.
Heyo.
There you have it. So we will see you guys same cemetery, different grave next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Mwah. That was a little weird.
What
Two
was
of them.
that?
Oh.
What was that?